This is a new era, bringing it all together. Getting your right mind, we grind, we do it forever. That's the only mission. Elevated thinking, it's a vision. Yeah, I'ma keep moving if this don't hit. You can't stop me when I hop aboard the spaceship. Sit and watch as I make shit. I am not a human, I'm a living constellation.
Whatever. All right, most people talk about the tea. I'm talking about the fruit. So it's essentially, I mean, if you eat something with like a hard skin, like a watermelon or like an avocado maybe, or like a cantaloupe or a clementine, I don't think you need to actually worry about whether it's organic or not, because the shell protects it from all the nonsense anyway that they spray on it. So you could pretty much just eat those, is my theory. But again, I'm not Dr. Bauer, so you know.
Not yet.
Not someday. Yeah.
Hey,
I get my Master of Thugonomics or whatever from John Cena University. So
I mean, if Shaq can do it, if Shaq can become a cop, I think anybody can do it.
I was thinking the other day of all the things that Shaq like sponsors, and I was like, it's a list. Like he's got the General, he's got Icy Hot. What do you say, printers? Yeah, inks. Yeah, ink, printers, Icy Hot, the General car insurance. What else?
Bayer, like BA.
Yeah, the aspirin. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got dude.
He's an analyst. He's an NBA analyst, so he has like
DJ.
He's a DJ.
He's a DJ. He's actually a law enforcement officer. Yeah, it's a mess. But anyway, hopefully he's doing well. Yeah.
Moving it up.
Does he have his doctorate too? Doesn't he have that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's very smart. Not stupid at all.
Oh.
He was actually
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say he was with the late great Aaron Carter on That's How I Beat Shaq. He was also starting that. So
I remember that. Yeah, like he comes off super goofy and like just like nonchalant. I don't care about anything, but like he's really educated and really smart. Like
he's quite successful. He's his wealth is as big as his stature. So you know
that big facts
in his shoes.
Yeah, dude,
that big.
Yeah. They're enormous. I hate it because here's the thing. Like I have a size 13 shoe, and I always think like I have big feet, but then I hear about some of these like NBA people. I think Shaq has possibly twice as big of a shoe as I do, and I have a very big shoe. You know, like it's like preposterous how big it is. Like,
I think
he's crazy.
24.
Yeah, it's something like that.
I can't even imagine. Yeah, because somebody like this real quick. I can't even imagine the shoe size of Shaq right now.
Like 22.
Shaq shoe size. Let me see. 22. Wait.
Shaquille O'Neal's shoe size.
This is what we do.
Shoe size. Yeah. Shoe size.
22 or 23. So that's what they're saying online on the web. So
I think there's an NBA player that has bigger because I saw they did one of those TikToks like, oh, I'm those like I'm 7'2".
Okay.
Of course it takes me time to get into a car. Blah blah blah. Of course. I'm 7'2". Of course, I have to duck down to get inside every single building.
It says here from a November 3rd, 2023 source that, however, during an FN interview in 2021, Shaq admitted that he is actually a size 20.
Wait, what?
My shoe is actually 20, but I like to wear a 22 because I was young. When I was young, we couldn't afford proper shoes, so I had to wear my shoes tight.
Wait, what? I don't think that makes sense.
Why did you get extra big?
J-Faith, I think you're gonna have to take back your Shaq as a genius claim.
Yeah, seriously.
Theoretically,
that makes zero.
I'm anywhere from a 20 to a 30.
He's Shaq's in his 20s. That's what he talks about. He's like, they're like, no, your shoe size specifically. It's like, I am in my 20s somewhere, like somewhere around there.
Probably.
But
he's like, depends on the day.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jay Faith, and this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast where we make connections through conversations. We are back, episode 83. Happy to be here. We got my co-host L.Y.F E here. He made it
Man,
down.
what the fuck, man? 17 more episodes until 100.
Until 100, yeah, man. It's cruising, dude. I know. I looked at it today. I was typing up the stuff to put the episode up for today, and I was like, dang, 82, man. 82. This is cool. And then 83 tonight. So, it's been cool, man. But thanks everybody for tuning in. I want to say God bless everybody. Shout out to Minds of One Collective Genius, MOCG. And tonight we have our wonderful special guest all the way from Colorado, another member of Minds of One Collective Genius, the man, the myth, Dan Bauer. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on? This is where the applause track comes in, right?
Oh wait, yeah, we gotta get the thumbs up. Hold up,
the thumbs up.
Watch this, man. Watch this.
Oh, it's only doing one.
No, hold up.
Do it, L.Y.F. Do it. Just do it. Come on.
No, I saw it. Something popped up on screen. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, you can't even. It's not even. Oh
yeah.
There's some fireworks that's supposed to go.
Yeah, there's usually fireworks.
We do that like fireworks. Yeah,
figured it out, but whatever.
Called the pyrotechnic guy.
Pod, man. Happy
yeah,
to hear.
thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate you, man. How's everything been? I feel like, I mean, it's been a minute since we've caught up too.
Dude, yeah. It's been a hot minute. I always said next time I chat with you guys, it should be on a podcast. So this is perfect. So, but yeah, no, it's cool. By the way, cool to hear that you're closing in on the hundo mark. Usually people say, like me, say they're going to do a podcast and then either just never do it or it kind of flames out after like 5 or 6 episodes. But yeah, damn, getting to 100, it's like pretty crazy. I think 83 is a prime number as well. So I feel honored and unique. But yeah, man, things have been good. So yeah, for those that don't know that are tuning in, I'm from New Hampshire, and obviously the MOCG roots. This is where this all started. I moved to Nashville last year. No, technically in 2022, and now it's 2024. So yeah, in November of 2022, I moved to Nashville, actually where I worked at Luke Bryan's downtown. That place sucks. Hey. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. But and I hope he sues me. But so I went down there to do the like famous musician thing or whatever. And it was just super fake. I really did not like it. Yeah, dude. Most of it was all. There were many factors. One of which, for sure, I was like broke and like it was a tough, spot to be in where I was at too. So before I took off, but I could have made it work, but I just really wasn't enjoying my time there that much. It was just a lot of pretense and a lot of performative actions. Like people only doing things for social media or because there was an audience. Like I don't think 9 out of 10 people I would walk across or see on stage somewhere or whatever would be doing what they'd be doing if it wasn't gonna win them some sort of like internet clout or something later. It was very inorganic, unlike those Clementines. So I just didn't. I don't know. It was weird. Like you'd see. Like I went into one of the, okay, so as far for the people that may not know, so yeah, like I'm in MOCG, I tend to be the guy with the guitar, but I also, like I still make beats for JFK and stuff. I sold him a beat a couple months ago, actually. Yeah. I've worked with L.Y.F on some beats and stuff in the past. So yeah, I do a lot of like hip hop stuff. And obviously I myself used to rap. I still rap sometimes, but not that often. But I do plan on making a comeback. I have a couple projects in the works, and those are forthcoming. But yeah. So also, the past maybe 4 or 5 years, really, I focused on like singer-songwriter stuff, and because I play a lot of instruments too. And so I went down to Nashville to do the singer-songwriter routine thing. And then you go there, and it's like the majority of venues just want you to play the same 30, 35 like country songs, and that's it. Like you're just supposed to kind of wear the hat, wear the flannel, sing about beer, and just be a cog in the machine or whatever. And I didn't want to.
All the time, same type of songs all the time.
not only the same type, but like the same
songs.
Because they want to keep it the country capital of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, not even like the same type of songs, like literally the same songs. Like Friends in Low Places and like
Oh, okay, so they just want covers and like covers of just the same stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah, it's for drunk tourists. It's for drunk tourists and bachelorettes. That's it.
That makes
That's like who you
sense.
placate to.
No, that makes sense.
Well, I was gonna say it's not like they really worry about like, oh, don't do this song again here. We just heard that last night. It's gonna get stale. The audience is gonna get bored. It's like, no, it's a different audience every night. No one actually lives there. You know what I mean? People just come in from a bus and just spend the weekend there and get trashed, and they just want to hear, you know,
that's
Billy Ray Cyrus. That's about it.
yeah, right. No, it's a tourist. It's a tourist thing, like you said. So, yeah, that stinks though, because you're hoping to, catch some ground, some groundwork out there, and then it's. But I mean, at least you attempted it. Some people don't even take that leap. They don't even try. So at least like you could look back and say, hey, at least I tried. I didn't, just to see what it was like. And it's not what everybody thinks it is, and this is advice I can give to other people. This is not the pathway that you want to go. Find somewhere else,
Yeah.
pick a new spot.
Sometimes sometimes you have to, as many times as you have to, like, if this isn't the right place, like, find a place that you can really, be comfortable in and be happy in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, truth be told, like I still love New Hampshire and stuff, and I could totally foresee myself heading back there at some point. What I've really been working on lately is just, believe it or not, like software development. So I'm trying to get into that field so that I can just have a good ass 9 to 5, and frankly, like work from home and just sort of do music on the clock while I'm doing other stuff. Like, so that's the entire goal. So
Word. So you've hit through Memphis or Nashville, and then now what made you? Well, I know what made you get out there, but like why Colorado? Why the shift to Colorado?
So my brother lives here, and
got some good weed out there.
I technically wouldn't know anything about that officially on the record, but anyway, but yeah, perhaps they have some good edibles too, but that's just some rumor I've heard. But yeah, if you had so if you take a map, right? Well, I don't know how this is going to look backwards, maybe to you guys, New Hampshire's up here. And then if like this is the country, like New Hampshire's up here, way up the top right. And then Nashville's like here-ish. And then Colorado's like here. And so I was here and I was like, well, fuck this. And so I had I packed every possession I owned into a Hyundai Elantra. And I said, so time to either go another 1,000 miles back this way, or I can go 1,000 miles this way. And so I just did that and went to Colorado. And I've enjoyed it so far. I mean, it's the first time I've ever lived away, from home, well, I guess no, it's the second time. The first time was Nashville, but it's the first time I've stayed for at least like a year, and it's been really eye opening, and it's been really nice. And have either of you guys ever been to Colorado?
Yeah,
not yet.
I went when I was like 12, 13. I had like family out there, so
yeah, that's sick. Whereabouts in the state did you go?
It was like Boulder.
Cool. Yeah.
We went into like Denver and did shit there. Like it's dope out there.
Yeah, Denver.
Thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Denver, I'm sort of thumbs down on, but I only because to me, it's like I don't. This is one of the things about Nashville that I learned. I don't really like big cities. I don't. It's too much, and there's too much like chaos. And too many people, too much traffic, everything's expensive. It costs like $35 to park everywhere. No one knows their neighbor, so there's no accountability or social cohesion. Like it's just a mess. So, and there's too much concrete and whatever. So yeah, I love the mountains, like you were saying, L.Y.F.E. Like I love, it's just scenic, especially the past couple of years where I really started believing in God and all that. And by all that, I just mean just God. But like, so I started believing in God, and it just made me like much more appreciative of the landscape around me. And I don't think that can be properly, or at least optimally, appreciated when you live in such a man-made urban environment with pavement and artificial stuff everywhere. You know?
All you see. You can't see the stars in the city.
Yeah. It's just very grand out here, and it just makes me feel like humbled and stuff. I like it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I feel the same way. Like, I live in the woods. I probably gonna always live in the woods. But yeah, like the big cities is just like a place to visit for me. Like I'll go in there, have a good time, and then maybe spend the night there and then just dip.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Not to knock it. I mean, if that's someone's flavor, that's their thing. That's cool. But like, I just like the grandiosity of the mountains. Like I'm sitting here at the footsteps of the Rockies every day. It's really nice, Like you just don't get that everywhere.
Yeah, like I go to New York almost every year because of either work, and then I just went, I think in like October or something, and even my wife asked me, and like people that every time I go, they're like, "Would you ever live in New York?" I'm like, "There's absolutely no way that I could handle just living in a city like this, or just I need like space. I need to be able to breathe." Not just because of all the fumes that are there, but just like the feeling of everything just on top of you at one time. Like I need to be able to just kind of separate myself and just have space. Even when you're in like the hotel, like everything just feels so cramped up.
I can barely drive through there.
Nah, I can't.
Uber, dude. Last time I visited my.
Take it out.
No, you're good. When I moved to Nashville, like I mean, I drove, obviously from a friend who lives in North, so I stayed at this place, and I was like, this is chill. I mean, like, it's great to see my friend, it's cool that he just let me stay at his place so I can save money on a hotel. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I went to his place, and even though I was like, oh, this is sweet, so I'll just deduct the cost of a hotel from my thing. But then being in New York, from the time I got into the city to his place, which was also in the city, it cost me like $35 in tolls, and then like $40 more to park. I'm like, dude, this place is ridiculous. It's such nonsense.
Like the Lincoln
but yeah,
Tunnel, like $27 just to get through it. It's like 27. The Lincoln Tunnel.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, what are you talking about? What, like, I pay taxes. What do you?
Yeah.
Right.
What are we doing? Like, that's
apparently
insane.
not.
I can fill up my thing for all this shit.
Yo, for real. I can't really say that. That's maybe like
to park.
Maybe like 2 gallons for me. Well, I have a truck. So
Yeah.
You driving?
Like
you got an
me,
H2?
$5.
Yeah.
Dude, are you still driving a 03 Hummer?
Oh,
who, me?
Yeah, with that gas mileage.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. No, stuck out the road. But yeah, the mileage is cool. All right, but it is what it is.
No, that's good. You like I want a truck. Well, maybe not a truck, but like at least like an SUV now. Like,
yeah,
as I'm getting older and more trying to be a man and such, I'm just like I can't be driving a Hyundai Elantra,
Yeah, man. You ever see those?
No Subarus anymore.
Yeah, right. You ever see those TikToks that does the be a man? The TikToks that guy does. It's like be a man. He's like, if you're having a heart attack and you gotta go to work, he's like, go to work, be a man, die at work, like something stupid like that. Dude, like super crazy. He's like, but he just does stupid stuff like that. Like it just unimaginable.
Just random stuff. Be a man. Come on.
Yeah, literally. Like, oh, you cut your finger off, go to work, be a man. Like, you're like, yo. But it's funny. It's funny stuff. But it just makes me think of that.
Good. That sort of reminds me of this. God, I wish I remember the guy's name so I could plug his Instagram channel. But yeah, they're a similar sketch. I'll send it to you guys after this similar sketch. But yeah, anywho's. But to answer your question, no, I haven't seen that TikTok because I'm like not on TikTok. I'm like the few, the proud. Like,
Stay away. It's too much.
Yeah, dude. It seems like too much. I would say more than anything. I don't really spend that much time on too much social media these days, but yeah,
That's
it's
good
more like
though.
Twitter. But yeah, it's
I can't like, or what is it? X now? I can't get it. It's never been my like go-to. It was always like the afterburner Twitter of just being the afterburner of the social medias for me. It was never one that I was just like constantly tweeting what is happening throughout my day. Like, oh, just woke up. How's everybody doing? Oh, traffic's
Yeah.
like I see people doing that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I don't have the time to be doing this, nor do I think that anybody cares.
Let's do a poll. What you like, buddy?
Yeah, it's just yeah. Who else is taking a dookie right now? Like, no one. Like, I don't know. People be doing stuff like that. The thing is,
I'm
like, people.
The shit while I was gonna say I'm wrecking the shit while I'm checking my Twitter. There's some potential there.
On the shit of 1 on second.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you guys have wrecking the shit while you're checking your Twitter.
Wrecking
you
the
gotta
shit
fully.
Twitter.
Life's gonna tell that.
Good. We're gonna go full multi.
Dan's like, just give me the.
I'm gonna slip sports. In a fritter.
yeah.
While I'm drinking a Brita.
While I'm drinking a Brita. I actually want to get one of those.
A Brita filter.
Yeah, because y'all like creeped out now with these plastic bottles. Well, not really creeped out. I'm probably still gonna drink out of plastic bottles, but
no, you're
like you drink like a plastic size, a credit card size of plastic every year.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. No, dude, you're correct about that. You should definitely not drink plastic bottled water. Yeah. Oh wait, there's one on the screen. Shoot, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, no, I think your instincts are correct there. You know.
No, but yeah, like
unless Poland Spring is sponsoring the show, then yeah. I got one of these. I got one of these shack size thermoses. This thing's like
bigger than your head.
Like 50 ounces or something, dude. It's crazy. I consider it a hydration device and a weapon, just in case.
Crispy asked if it was a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's ice cold like the Stanley Cup, thanks to the good folks at Hydro Peak.
He said it's ice cold. Stanley.
Like Andre 3000.
No.
Yeah, man. I actually used to call this thing the Hydra Leak because even though it's Hydra Peak, it's not Hydra Flask. It's some knockoff brand, Hydra Peak. But the thing leaks all the time, so I call it the Hydra Leak.
Oh, man.
I've still kept it. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I used to use it. So
yeah, whatever. I'm not leaking bills at this stage in life, so it is what it is. But hey,
that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, true. But yeah. Oh, did you want me to? Did you want to discuss any of the musical stuff? I know we had initially chatted, and this was going to come to light because of the music video that I did a few months ago, or whatever that was, a couple months ago.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up at some point because I know that you had kind of mentioned it as well too, and I thought it was something cool to just talk about. Definitely a different perspective than, well, not perspective, but just kind of different topic that we've talked about on the pod before. So I thought it would be cool to just bring that up and cover that. We can definitely go through that.
Yeah, sorry, not to dictate the flow of things. I just wanted to see.
No, this is your show. We're just here to have a conversation, man.
Cool. Well, I just figured it would be worthwhile for people to. I'd feel a bit guilty if I was like my Hydra Leak to actual music discussion ratio was off. So, but
what a segue, right?
Yeah, that was. I knew that was going to be my pivot point. That's why I had there as a prop.
There we go.
But yeah. So I mean, okay. So in the past, actually, in 2017, I put out a hip hop album that I produced everything on and rap. There were no features. It was just me. Like I did all the verses and hooks and produced it. I actually mixed it and recorded it myself too. And I'm not good at that stuff. So it doesn't sound like super professional, or I'm not bad, but like I've improved since 2017 or whatever, But yeah, so I had that. And then in 2018, well, no, and then later in 2017, I put out an EP, like a singer-songwriter EP.
Mm.
And then I got my Fragile Little Hop woken, and I had to write about some breakup in 2018. So I did that, and I put out a full album that just kind of came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't planning on making this or anything. It
Yeah.
just, like, and so I came up. I had no songs or anything. Well, no, I had one song written, but beyond that, nothing recorded, nothing produced, nothing. It was just like an idea for one song written on acoustic guitar, but that was it. And in like May of that year, and then by the first week of July, the whole thing was done, like fully written, recorded, produced, released, all of it. Like
Nice.
I was just working like a depressed madman. So that's all I did. And so I did that. And then in 2020, I put out, but I didn't even promote the album or anything. I was like super depressed for like 2 years about some breakup. But then in 2020, I put out like my first album that I like tried with,
Yeah.
which I like started doing music videos and like took the album art seriously and and cleaned up the social media and promoted it and stuff like that. So that was 2020, and that was an album that was more like a rock type album, like mostly guitar based stuff. And then 2022, I put out an album, Love Dan, which was a retort to Love Muffin, which was the 2018, uh, heartbreak album. But yeah,
Right.
that album, when you asked about certain substances I shan't mention in Colorado, actually I shan mention them because uh, I do have a medical card, so we're all good. So, but yeah, so I went to Colorado, or no, I suppose I went to Colorado before I lived in Colorado, starting in around 2020. I think I just when the pandemic hit, you guys remember that, right? When they locked us in our houses for a couple of years, like so.
It kind of escapes my memory. I don't know. You're gonna have to fill me in.
So
Wait.
Dr. Fauci, no, I'm just joking. So there was a global pandemic in 2020 for those that
I
aren't up to speed. So so
don't know, but okay.
so during that time, I stayed home a lot more, and I would say became sort of a regular partaker, and for the first time in my life. And during that same time, it was everyone else was like freaking out and dying and stuff. I didn't care, like not about their deaths or anything, but like I didn't. It was such an unprecedented event that I was like freaking out for the first, bit of it. And then they kept telling me like, oh, carrot on the stick. They're like, oh, 6 months or 6 weeks or 15 days to slow or whatever. And then it just went on and on and on. And eventually I just kind of stopped caring. And like,
Yeah.
but while we had that time, I was home, and I know that everyone was telling me to be like real afraid and all this stuff, but it was like also the springtime in the summer, and it was really nice. And I sort of had like the spring and summer off, more or less, which I'd never had as a grown adult in my life. I was either in
Mm.
school or working or both or something. And I was like, I can just chill. And I just did. And I was like outside running all the time, getting baked every day. Like it was such a good life. Like I was having such a good time. And then, and during that time, I started, I just started feeling better. Like, and, I, in that album, Love Dan, I actually wrote that in like 2020. And then I
Mm.
just and then I decided I was gonna like really actually make something out of it or whatever. And try harder than I tried with the last album. So I did like 4 music videos for the album. Um
Yeah.
and
I remember.
the sounds are just way different too. It's like significantly different than my first 2 albums, my 2018 to 2020 albums. Those are more like rock or alternative albums. This one was like some weird indie pop type stuff, but with like a lot of layers, and it was much different stuff than I'd ever done before. Like I went from like all the songs had electric guitar, bass, drums, or piano and vocals. And that was pretty much it on the first 2 albums. And then on the 2022 album, that's when I really feel like I got into who I should be artistically. And that one, it's like there's a ton of songs written on acoustic guitar. There's piano ones. There's synth one. Well, there's a bunch of synths. I hired like a real French horn player for one of the songs. I still wrote the part, but like I hired them. I hired a sax guy for 2 different songs. Like there was samples. There was like all sorts of African drum sounds. There was like wild shit compared to what I did before. And so that was like definitely my turning point musically, is when I started, I would say, expanding my mind more, so to speak. So it was really cool. And then so that so I thumbs up for it. So I finally released that in 2022 after like waiting way too long. I was falling down the rabbit hole of like trying to figure out. I was watching all the videos and subscribed to all the YouTube teachers and blah blah blah, and about like how to scaffold your releases and strategized, and I was building spreadsheets and doing, the whole thing. And so, yeah, it was a much more strategic run up to the release of the actual album. But yeah, but so I ended up releasing the thing. And then like a couple weeks later, I left New Hampshire, which was very different. But it was good. I felt like I had done that album. I was glad to be done with it and on to newer stuff. But I was still very, very proud of it. And I thought, wow, okay, I have my sound. You know what I mean? I felt the way for the first time. I have my sound. And then in 2023, this year, well, actually before I left, before Love Dan was even like going to be released, I remember it was actually before I went to Trevor's 4th of July thing in 2022. Before I went to that with Joe and Autumn, they were about to pick me up. And I remember I was like sketching this out. Actually, I always have my notebook. I could probably check the exact date, and I'm sure I'd be right about this, that in July of like 2023, I had, or July of 2022, I should say, July 4th, we were about to go there. And I was like, okay, I definitely have my next like projects ready. Actually, this was the this like stair set sort of heavenly cloud thing was similar to like some tattoo that I saw at this girl at Trevor's parties thing. Yeah, this is like an early sketch of the album art and what it ended up becoming, which is basically what it became. And that was, I had that all just like ready to go in the spring of like 2022. And I just decided I'm going to make 2 albums. So in 2023, I released 2 albums, one called My Demons in Me and one called Divinity Infinity. And like they were a further expansion of like the experimentation of sound that I had. Like the lead instrument on some of them was anywhere from piano to acoustic guitar, to synth, to an organ. Like there was all sorts of different shit going on. Like it was very, and I did like a shit ton of vocal harmonies. I played banjo on one of the songs. Like it just went, there was like a lot going on.
Yeah.
What's up?
Bit of everything, right? Like some strings in there.
Dude, yeah, strings, but like it was just very experimental. And I was like, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but like I think it was. But yeah, so I did that, and that was the end of those releases. And so then recently, since that, I have 3 album ideas, singer-songwriter wise, and 2 hip-hop wise, that I have. Like I know what I want to do for these. And it's not just like, oh, it's like theoretical. It's like, no, I got the fucking notebook. Like, trust me, I got like the songs already. Like I just need to like write them and produce them and record them. But I have the compositions and the melodies more or less ready, and the ideas for the songs and albums. So I really want to do those 3 albums by the end of this decade. So, or those 5 albums, I should say, those 3, singer-songwriter and the 2 hip-hop ones. So that would be tight if I could get those done. And then, but most recently what I did, so one of those 3 next albums, I already have, it's good. Like, it's like, I don't mean like it's great. I do think it's good, but like, it's good. Like it's ready, you know? And so I actually did release the first single off it, / first music video off it, but it wasn't that Kayla song. It was some other song that I haven't really talked about, but that will come to light eventually. But the Kayla song is one that I don't really do stuff by singles. I'm definitely like I write by the album. But with Kayla, it was definitely something that I felt like was just weighing on me heavily, and I had to express that feeling somehow musically, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how that came to be. Yeah. I mean, I guess for those that don't know, it's a music video that I filmed here in Colorado. Actually, yeah, because I was driving by, right? There was this street that I was like would drive by, and they had this billboard up there for one of these like, you know, things from a pro-life center in town that was like a pregnancy crisis center type thing, trying to and it was right down this, and I noticed it was right down the street from the Planned Parenthood thing in town, and I was like, I could do something with this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a reason that these people bought this billboard there to try to intercept people before they go and get this procedure. And, and so I just thought there was some meat on that bone. And then there was that, like the bench nearby with like the pregnancy warning and stuff like that from the same people that sponsor the billboard. Actually, it might've been a different company, or organization, but yeah. And so, yeah, I made a music video where I talked about, yeah, like definitely a tough, definitely sort of like some heavyish stuff, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, like years ago, I you know, got some girl pregnant, and she opted to do away with that. And I didn't really put up that hard of a fight, which I realize now was the wrong decision. And yeah, dude, that was pre-God, I will say. I know that's like a cop-out that people say that type of stuff, but like truly, I just didn't have any comprehension of like the magnitude of anything like that until I appreciated life and stuff, and not just L.Y.F E, but like L.I.F.E as well. Yeah, like it was like just I treated it like an option and a burden and something that was optional, and I just kind of realized how flawed that thinking is in recent years, since I've really like chewed on that topic. Obviously, since then, it's weird because for a few years after the fact, I really didn't care. Not that I won't say that I didn't care, but like I didn't care that much. Like it didn't really bother me, and I didn't really think about it. But then, yeah, then when I just feel like I sort of got my priorities straight, yeah, definitely, it weighed a lot heavier on me the past couple of years, and especially in 2023, I really started thinking about it a lot. So like, yeah, I hope to be honest, it's my most disliked video. Like I got ratioed the hardest on that. Oh yeah, dude, I got banned from like a handful of subreddits that I tried to like promote it on, like permanently banned, no warning type of shit. Like I've had a handful of people just like that I never like, you know, sometimes I'll post a song and people be like, oh, good song, man, or whatever. And usually it's just like, yeah, my fans or people that I know, my friends or whoever that will or musical peers or anything that will give feedback one way or the other on it. But I started getting a lot more like rando feedback from people that I didn't already know on the Kayla video, and a lot of it was negative. And that's because it's a very, I guess, taboo opinion. Sorry, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, you're good. I was just saying it's a very controversial topic, especially nowadays, with just the way the state of things are in the world right now. It's hard to I mean, it's like we were talking about something else the other day, and you know, we put up an opinion on something and we get, you know, hashed on it. It's like another one of those things where, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, you know, whichever side of the fence you stand on.
But at the end of the day, it needs to be talked about because, you know, it's,
and
so should build awareness.
And sometimes, you know, not speaking on this topic specifically, because I'm not here to say who's wrong, who's right. I have my own opinions on it. I'm just saying in general, like sometimes when people hear the truth, you know, it angers them because it's not like what their way of thinking, and it like kind of hits them, but they don't want to admit that it's the truth. So then they fight back. And again, I'm saying that for just universally, not this topic specifically, even though it is kind of one of those topics.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. In the sense, it's one of those topics in the sense that it's like a cultural touchstone at this point. You know, it's like it's a lightning rod topic, I guess. Yeah, to be honest, that really like as much a part of the zeitgeist as it currently is. I wasn't like trying to capitalize on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I just felt compelled to write about that. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear what both of you guys are saying in saying it is I agree. I think it is important to write about like stuff that matters and stuff that is of consequence and about stuff that sort of has some legs and a sense of timelessness, you know? Like I don't that's a theme that I feel like I'm really honing in on of late is that we live in this we are but fish in this ocean of content. You know what I mean? It's so ubiquitous and so vast the amount of different things that are out there to consume and that we are naturally wired to pay attention to because a lot of them will use like colors or language or sounds or whatever that are try to get us like nervous or hyped or aroused or something extreme and immediate, you know what I mean? Something that you have to pay attention to. And like so I realized like that so much of what people did in Nashville was just that type of stuff. Like how lewd can I be? How loud can I be? How perverted, how swag, how lip snarl country can I be? You know what I mean? Like it was lame. And
kind
I
of
think
like
there's
it's kind of like LA. How Cali can I be? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, but that, yeah, but I yes, but also it's like we there's just so much out there that we're supposed to that is trying to demand our attention and like we can't pay attention to all of it and I think a lot of people try to keep up with the Joneses in that regard and just make like content and I've made sort of a decision to not do that. I'm still gonna make, like I said, I want to make 5 more albums this decade, and I already made 5 albums in the last 6 years that I played every instrument on and fucking produced myself. And so I've been at it, but I'm not slowing down. I'm still gonna make more stuff. I'm just not gonna make more like social media type stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just making like music and music videos, and I might make some stuff here and there. I actually still might make a podcast as well, but like. And I think stuff like this is really cool because it's stuff that you guys like care about and you're enlightening your audience with different perspectives. This is valuable, good content. Unlike what I'm trying to say is people that I don't know, like you hear someone's song and they chop it up like into 100 different reels and like, did I just make the song of the summer? And then they put the thing on. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, dude, you're wasting your like energy on this. Like you could be actually creating, you know?
They see a trend that popped off, and they got to do the same thing.
Yeah, dude. It's like it's like just you're bowling with the bumpers on, and you're not even the one that decided where the bumpers are. You know what I mean? Like it's weird.
It goes with what came to my mind as you were saying, you know, creating that song, you know, based off of an experience, and then based off of another experience. It's like as creatives of people that genuinely make real life music, the average listener is looking to basically deny your experience and your perspective, because again, to use this song as an example, you know, you went through an experience with a girl, yada yada yada. We already talked about that. And then, you know, then you have another experience of finding God, and it changes your perspective. And all you want to do is share this individual perspective and an experience that you've had in your life to other people. You know, that no, that's not saying that it's like the end all be all only statement that anybody can ever listen to. It's just that you're using your platform as an artist to creatively speak about, which music basically is, sharing your experience. So it's like people are basically trying to make you deny the experience that you had. And to add on what you were saying, it's like people see the latest trend of what's happening and then they jump on that instead of relying on their own experience and creating it in their own way. They're jumping into somebody else's experience. And
Yeah.
they're not allowing themselves to shine through. They're just letting somebody else's experience that popped off to take them into another place. And then when it doesn't, they're like, I don't get why that trend didn't work for me, because it's not your trend.
Yeah.
It's that you tried to hop onto. And that's the problem. Be yourself and you'll probably create your own trend. But people don't want to do that anymore. They want to take the quick route and something that is going to get them trending a lot quicker. And it may get them a lot quicker, but it's not going to last long because it's not their trend.
It's not sustainable. It's not the way to live. You know what I mean? We're not made to, live digitally. You know what I mean? And like, doing, countless TikToks like every single day, like using up all of your time to do that, doesn't allow yourself to, improve in other aspects of your life and see other things and, experience new things and all that, ultimately spark the inspiration to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, 100%. I agree with that a lot. I think that was like a big reason, not a big reason, but definitely part of the reason why I moved too. I just wanted to get the experience, like not consciously to have something to write about or anything, because I certainly haven't written any songs about Colorado or Nashville, but like it's been, I mean, I did have a song on my last album called Anywhere You Want to Go, which is sort of about this in a way. It's about like freedom and spreading your wings and stuff, but like it's there's life, the now, not you, like is, even though you're a noun, I guess, as well, but it shapes, without going and doing things or whatever. You don't have any, because what we're trying to do when we like make this music is like, I'm trying to convey the emotion. I'm trying to wrap up all of the emotion and intensity of whatever experience I had and crystallize it into this product for you, whether that product be a painting or whatever, like a song, etc. And in this case, it's the song. Like, right. So I think it's definitely, it's like a portal into somebody else's like first person POV experience audibly,
Yeah. Like I can only speak on things that I've experienced. I can't, and if you have a different experience based on the same subject, that's cool. But I can't speak on what you're seeing if I've never lived it. You're going to have to explain that to me, type of thing. I can't just magically just assume and know what it is that you're feeling and going through. Like, you're going to have to help me understand, because until I've physically lived through that exact situation, I'm never going to really understand. 100%. I can empathize and, try to have, some sympathy or understanding of it, but it's never going to be 100% because I never lived it. Until that happens, I'm never going to really be able to grasp it. So you have to let people, you have to have some understanding in that people's experiences are going to be different. But like nowadays, people are like, they have this weird assumption that everybody's experiences are the same and everybody's going through the exact same thing. And, they have to understand it the exact same way. It's like, no, I've been through this and you've been through this. They're two different things. So I'm open to share them and, maybe we can come to some common ground, but it's never going to be this exactly the same until either one of us walks in each other's shoes, for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. and precisely. And you can try to write. That's why I feel like just some people, well, sadly not that many people, but like the people whose opinions are sort of more worth it, I consider those people to be the ones that have like sort of a spidey sense for authenticity, you know? Like I sort of know when I'm being bullshit, you know, whether that's with music, like with a lot of, I'll be honest, I don't really use the term artist. I sort of like sneeringly say artist when I talk about some of these people who like don't even write their own stuff. And like they're just more just like performance artists, but like they'll I can tell, like, I'm trying to think of an example. To be honest, I listen to so little of like the radio and like modern music that I couldn't even tell you like any of these like the top artists. But yeah, like if you hear someone just being fake, you just sort of know it, you know, like your antenna goes up and you get the that feeling where you're like, all right, something's a little bit off, and this just feels a bit forced or a bit fake. And
yeah, 100%.
yeah, only speaking for myself, I I uh I basically I try not to, well, I don't even say I try. I know it sounds pretentious or whatever, but like I should I don't think I wouldn't even say like this has been a recent thing. I think I've always written and tried to express myself very authentically. Even listening back, you know, like if I listen to some of the stuff that I wrote in 2018, uh, even if I even though now I don't relate to that uh, version of myself or that mindset or anything anymore, like is very defeatist and, you know, forlorn and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really something that I associate with anymore, but I I still am glad that at the time I did express myself, and
Right.
I meant it. You know what I mean? At the time, I meant it, even though that's not my current perspective. But it was very as lame as you might think it is. I mean, perhaps a person that I've written different music about might have, you know, sneered at some of the stuff that I've written or like mocked it or whatever. I I don't care. Like I did I did what was real to me. Like, and I've
Right.
always done that, and I'm just going to continue to do it. Like one time, actually, I remember one time I was I won't name names, but because it's someone that we all mutually know. But one time I was asked to be a feature on like a certain person's track or whatever, and
Mm.
you know, I had a good experience with it. No bashing to the song itself or anything, but like I was like pitched the idea to be on this particular song about a certain topic that wasn't of my origin. You know, like it wasn't like I was compelled to write this song. It was like, yo, hey man, I got a song about this, and I think you might be a good feature because of that. What do you think? Like, I
Right.
just it's like for me, it's always harder to get into things like that if it's not something that you I don't know, like I
No, I
wasn't divinely inspired to
yeah.
bring that emotion into art, you know?
No, I totally get what you're saying. It's like I don't know. I'll use this loosely. It's like if you've played played basketball all your life, and then somebody wants you to go play baseball. It's like it's gonna take me some time to like wrap my head around. You know, it's the same thing with music. Like when you're going for features, you need to know the artist that you're reaching out to, and being like not just because they maybe have a really good voice. Like you got to make sure that they're gonna just sonically, you know, lyrically, everything that has to do with the song is gonna fit. It's gonna work because you know they may be able to put something together, but is their heart gonna be into it? Is it gonna really sound like their heart is into it? It may or it
Yeah.
may, you know, because there are some people that'll just do it for the paycheck. But you know, I think the real people are gonna be like, this song really isn't for me. And I've done many of those where people have sent me a song and I'm like, listen, like this is a really cool song. It bops. I rock with it, but I can't see myself, you know, in less words, like I can't see myself featured on this because it just isn't something that I relate to. It isn't something that I'm gonna be able to write to because I just don't have that experience. I don't have that within there. I can make something up, but it's not gonna be authentic, and it's not gonna sound right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, it's gotta be born uh out of something pure, you know? It can't be. It's weird. Like as corny and high ankle sock, white New Balance as this may sound, like I think it's like important. Like you have to write from the heart, otherwise you're just like,
yeah.
I don't know. You can't force shit. It's weird too, actually, because not to jump back on this horse, but with the Kayla song, right? Like that was sonically much different than anything I've ever done. Like it sounds way different than the rest of my discography so far. Like there's synthetic drums. The lead instrument is a synth. Pretty much all the instruments are a synth. There's a lot of like real wet reverb on the vocals. A ton of like, it truly doesn't sound like anything else in my discography. But that sound was brought about when I was conceiving the song. I had the song written like in my head, I had like the melody and stuff ready. And then I was starting to like do a version of it on guitar and then something on piano, and it just wasn't right. But I just did the synth and it was perfect. And it's like a song kind of comes into creation as it ought to,
Right.
And if it ought to not, it shouldn't. But hey, people do things for money all the time, and it's that's pretty lame.
Yeah.
But those are the real songs. Like as artists, the ones that are doing it, when it finally finishes, when it finally completes, you're just like, man, this is like as perfect as it can be, because it's just all natural. It's all from the heart. Like it just feel like, you just know it feels right. Because I've done like, so, I mean, I'll be honest, like I've done some features and they were unpaid, and I mean, I'm happy to, I'll say it is for whatever, where like, maybe not that I like didn't put my best into it, I gave a solid verse, I did, but like, was it everything of me? No, but I just did it because I was just trying to support, and just to make music, make connections, whatever. But there, you do feel, so saying that, I say, I've definitely felt the difference between, kind of just, using the phrase loosely, like telephoning in a verse versus, really putting your heart into it, and, just feeling there's like a different sense of accomplishment that comes from like something that you've literally just like poured your heart out into, and like it's like done, and you're like, damn, like I don't even care if nobody likes this song. I'm gonna rock with this song forever because this is just fire to me, and I don't. That's what anybody else thinks.
Dude, I think that, I'll be honest, I think that about like a couple of my songs. My favorite two songs, if anyone's watching this and they've never heard my stuff before, my favorite two songs of mine are one off that Love Dan album. It's a track called Montreal. It's track 6 off there. That one's probably my favorite. Or the last song off My Demons in Me, which is also track 6, oddly enough. And it's called Wicked Ways. And I just like belted it out in that one at the end, like I hadn't done before. But yeah, but I know what you mean, because those two songs are the ones that came to mind when you were saying what you were saying. I was like, I've for sure had those moments where I'm just sitting there in my headphones and I'm just like like deafening myself, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck who else listens to this. Like it hits the precise spot that I was aiming for. You know what I mean? Like it hits in just the way I wanted it to, and I made it, so I feel great.
Yeah, it's such a good feeling, like, and that's what I want for all artists. Like, I want people to be genuine and really speak on who they are as people, and like put in your heart, man. Like, you'll be surprised, like stuff that I see where people are really putting their heart into it and like just being themselves, like it shines way brighter than the trend that is popping off with, is this the number one hit, that of the summer. Like, okay, we've seen, it's like, I don't remember when, like in Elf, when the coffee shop is the best coffee in New York City, in the world, and he walks in, oh, you guys did it, greatest coffee. It's like, nah, dude, like there's so many places that are labeling themselves as the best coffee, ever.
Best pancakes in town.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everybody's saying that, but it's like, are you saying like, you know, maybe the most unique, you know, or say, you know, just the most life, you know, the most J Faith that you can be, the most Dan Bauer. Is this the, you know, most Dan Bauer that you've seen, you know? Like compare and contrast against yourself. Like, you know, are you really growing as an artist, or are you staying, you know, where you were? Ask your fans, yo, was I'm Still Human J Faith the same as Apartments J Faith, you know? And let the people tell you. And if you listen to it, you'll know damn sure that it's not. But you know what I mean? Like, you know, compare yourself, compare your own growth. Stop worrying about other people and what trends they're doing, and just do do what you need to do, within just your parameters. Stop worrying about what other people are doing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I that's a very salient and potent and timeless message. Yeah, dude. You got to be, as they say on that really annoying song that plays all the time in my work, you got to be true to yourself. And boy, do I hate that song. It's so lame. Like, you ever work somewhere and they're like, they play the same playlist all the time, and then after about a month, you're like, if I fucking see Vanessa Carlton on the street, I'm swinging. You know what I mean?
And the same thing for 8.
Oh, hey Vanessa, how's it going? Fucking, like, fucking. You know how many times I had to fucking listen to One Fine Day? But yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just joking. I actually really like Vanessa Carlton. I went to karaoke a couple weeks ago, and I sang 1,000 Miles. That's like one of my go-to karaoke songs. Yeah, dude, dead ass. Okay, so I have a playlist on my Apple Music, which you can find at Apple Music. I don't really know my fucking username, but yeah, it's and the playlist is called The Slap. I don't care what you think, and it's just like absolute ass level, like, supermarket mom songs that are also still really good. And I think 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton is the quintessential one of those.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, we had a lock-in the other day, and one of the kids was like, yo, because we had to play clean music for the teens and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, they were asking, like, what songs? And he started playing some, like, old school stuff. And then I started throwing, like, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Then we had Nirvana going on, and all these just, like, poppy, like, just those songs that you just know.
Yeah.
You know, everybody. Because, like, as soon as we put it on, everybody was like,
Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, yeah. Like,
no, that was the song I played. Everybody, where Backstreet's back.
yeah.
Yo, let's go.
I gotta make a point about that song. So friggin' whatever, 2 points. 1 point on that song. The whole I've thought about this, and I'm like, I think this is just about the most self-indulgent song to have ever existed, and WAP exists. Like, it's because the whole premise of the songs are like, everybody, yeah, Backstreet's back. All right, like, that's the whole song. You're just talking about how you're back. Like, hey, everyone, presenting us, the Backstreet Boys. We're like, all right, it's just some giant ode to self. I don't know. It's weird. It did work. It's a great song. Written, I believe, by Max Martin, who's this Swedish record producer, multi-instrumentalist, who is low-key behind, like, all the pop stars. There's like 3 Scandinavian men behind all of pop music for the last 25 years. You'd be shocked.
Yeah, they did it for, like, NSYNC, 98 Degrees. There's a couple other
Katy
ones.
Perry, Taylor Swift. I mean, like, still doing it. Like, all the songs. Like, I'm pretty sure the same person that wrote I'm pretty sure Max Martin wrote, like, Never Ever Getting Back Together and, like, Shake It Off and stuff too. Like, it, like, still contemporarily doing this.
No, I'm completely wrong. Never mind. That's Taylor Swift.
No, it is Taylor Swift. But I'm saying, like, if you actually look up, like, Taylor Swift songs or whatever, it's not just Taylor Swift writing it. It's like, actually, I looked it up right now. Shake It Off songwriters, Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. Shellback also does, like, so much stuff. Yeah, Shellback. He's this random Swedish music producer, dude. He's done so many songs in the past like 15 years that you would from all these major artists that you would never like. You'd never know the guy if you walk down the street.
No.
But yeah, dude, it's wild. I thought about doing some of that stuff, but it kind of harkens back because, to be honest, I have so many friggin' song ideas. Like, the past half a year, I've really mostly been focusing on the software development stuff just so that I can get the career and then just go full steam on the music. But like, this is like my songs thing, ideas thing. You know what I mean? Like, it truly goes on. There's, I don't know, how many recordings do I have? I have 4,665 recordings. Some of them are shit, but like I truly have like so many song ideas, and I feel like I could be one of these like Max Martin behind the scene type guys, but I also don't feel inspired to write stuff unless I want to express it. You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah. It's like weird, expressing yourself and then like having a complete stranger that's never even lived that experience to be like, oh, this is my song, I'm gonna sing it. Like, no, you're really just like karaokeing it. In theory, you're just performing.
Precisely.
You didn't create it.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
is. Yeah.
Well, you know who I can't stand in that realm is Pink. I've always hated Pink. Or maybe not always. I just don't like that archetype of a person, like the tough girl thing. But anyway, she was like, she specifically is so obnoxious when it comes to that, because I remember there was this interview that I saw with her one time. The song, and I said, hey, yeah, what's going on? Like that song, right? So the person that wrote that is Linda Perry, right? She actually sang that song too. She was the singer guitarist in Four Non Blondes. She was the songwriter in that band. And then that was just some random thing that kind of flamed out. It was kind of like Hole or L.F.E or any of these like early 90s girl band type things. So she just she did that, but she wasn't like hot or young or anything. So it wasn't going to last. So she did that, but she was a very talented songwriter. And so after that flamed out, she just kept writing songs for people. So she wrote Get the Party Started by Pink. And then she also wrote Beautiful by Christina Aguilera. And then when Beautiful came out, afterwards, Pink had been interviewed about that. And she was like, I don't think it's right that Christina's using my songwriters and stuff. I'm like, your songwriters, fuck off, dude. Like, dude, she's so insufferable. So
also, you know how many songs have been turned down by artists and then picked up by another, and then they kill it? Like, there's been so many times I've heard that an artist is like, oh yeah, I turned down this song, and then you look and like it's one of those songs that like blew up, and you're like, yo, you turned that song down. But there's like so many, like they just like, there's literally songwriters and they're like, hey, here's a song, and then they're like, no, I'm all set, and then they're like, all right, we'll give it to so and so, and then they give it to so and so does it, and then the song pops off. I've seen it so many times. I don't have anybody like in my back pocket to shout out, but I've definitely heard a couple, especially like singers, that they're like, they've turned a song down and you're like, damn, you turned down that song. I wouldn't have turned down that one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the case with Toxic by Britney. I'm pretty sure that was shopped around to like someone else first. One of her major hits. I don't know, maybe it was Toxic, but I know what you're saying. Like people screw up with that stuff, but yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Interesting stuff. What do you guys got planned this year musically?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Well, I mean, I'm working on an album. I'm not sure when I'm gonna drop it, but I mean, I'm just gonna like compile stuff up and see what happens. Maybe it'll turn into 2 projects, or maybe it'll turn into part 1, part 2 EP, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just writing, just trying to compile it up as much as I can, and it's gonna turn into something. So I'm just like behind the scenes. Gonna be in the studio at some point. Once I have like enough songs ready, which is it's pretty close. Just piecing stuff together. Slowly going back to the drawing book. Learning how to be a better businessman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just trying to
Well, you're not a
revamp.
businessman. You're a businessman.
I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Jay-Z says.
Yeah,
but nah, dude, that's
true.
sick. So you still think maybe like a 2024 release though on the horizon?
I would say so. Yeah, maybe like later on in the year. I'm thinking like around fall, winter.
Cool, dude. That's
Yeah.
sick. And what about you, Jay Faith?
Kind of like life. I'm really trying to. I think with the catalog that I have now, definitely trying to focus on the business side of things, get all that stuff cleared away, really focus on that. But as far as like creation, I mean, I have a collab album that will hopefully be finishing up this week, and you and I will be working on our second collab album. I have my own album that I'm working on.
Damn.
I have to finish recording that, and then it'll be into the mixing and mastering phase of that piece, along with adding some live drums, which I'm excited for.
Mm-hmm.
And then MOCG is working on a mixtape together, so we're putting that together. So there's definitely a lot of music that's being created. When it's going to come out, I mean, I'm not rushing anything. And I think that's kind of the beauty of it. I mean, I waited 10 years for Apartments to come out, so I think I'm pretty patient when it comes to when it comes to music creation. It definitely won't be 10 years before my next album comes out. I already have a name. I already have all the tracks done.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be called. So I just did Apartment. So I have Moving Out, then I have Apartments, and then now I'm gonna have the next album is gonna be called Evicted. So that's kind of my my spiritual growth, that kind of transition. Just like, okay, bro, you just went through 10 years. Like, where are we at like now? You just explained everything that you just went through. So like it's kind of like, where are you at now? So really excited. I've been working with shout out to Mertz. I'm gonna keep shouting him out. Mertz over at the Bridge Sound and Stage. He is kind of my kind of like full-time producer. We meet like once a month, and
It's
we
in
just
like Nashua or Pelham or something, right?
there he's actually in Cambridge.
Yeah.
In
Oh
Cambridge.
yeah. What am I thinking of? Sorry, good. I got my wires crossed, but it's all good. But yeah.
But yeah,
Cool, man.
so he's basically like my full-time, if you will, full-time producer. I know he works with other people, mixes and masters and stuff. I say that very loosely, but like he's like, hey bro, like I need a beat. Like it's him that I'm going to. We meet once a month, and we just have a beat session. We'll craft something together, and whether it's for the album or just the future, we just have stuff in the tuck, and we have some other ideas for planning for that stuff too, which I'm super excited for. It's definitely gonna bring something new for me as far as performing, which is also something that I'm going to be trying to get back into. I haven't performed since like August, I think.
Yeah.
We say that all probably like August. It's been a little bit, but it's been just trying to find the right shows. Not something that is 15 minutes set, but something that is 25, at least minimum 30, and higher. Just again because of the caliber that we're both at.
Yeah.
I think we can do longer sets. I think we have the catalog to do that. So, it's just finding the right show. And I think part of it is just going to be making more connections with people and networking a little bit more. I think that'll be my other focus too, as far as music, just to get into those shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, go to the shows and then you'll meet people there and kind of get that ball rolling.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to get more visuals together too. It's been a while since I've done, a video. Not only full production videos, but yeah, we will see those for sure. But I want to, put together like reels and TikToks for like the stuff that's already out while I make the new music. So, just to shed more light on the songs that we feel deserve more attention. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, dude.
and just having you know that micro content to like fill in that big gap before like that next chapter.
Yeah, just remind them
Yeah.
of what, and then being like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that song. Oh, wait, now he has new stuff. Oh, I
Right?
definitely
Yeah,
want to hear
it's
it
kind of
now."
like we're going through the time capsule of our favorite songs and just putting it out there visually. You
Yeah.
know, creating a story around that and just
Yeah.
adding substance, like adding more substance, and creating more to offer for our brand, our fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. Yo,
Yeah.
in regards to the MOCG album thing too, I remember seeing that in the chat and all that. I definitely want to get involved on the instrumental portion. Like fucking if you need like, whether it's a part, like a guitar part or a piano part or live drums or whatever,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
beats, dude, I'm freaking so down. So
Yeah,
yeah,
for
keep me in the loop. Keep me in the loop with that.
Yeah, we can definitely chat. I know some of the guys have and girls have picked through some of the beats. We definitely, I think we're at like 4 or 5 or so. I was thinking like if we could get like 8 songs done, make it more of a mixtape than just like an EP. So we're
Yeah.
still cracking. So it's still kind of still pretty open. So yeah, we can definitely chat.
Yeah. Cool. Good shit.
Cool, man.
But yeah,
Well,
beyond that, yeah, I was gonna say I really haven't been like I'm with you with the performance thing. I haven't really been performing that much either. I've just been I mean, I was mostly doing studio stuff the past couple of years anyway, but that's all right. So did the Beatles and the Beach Boys. So like
Yeah.
that's something I feel like not many people really like know as much, but like the Beatles, like they just stopped touring like a few years in, and all they did was lock themselves in the studio and make albums for their last like 5 years as a band, and they
yeah,
didn't perform. So
Yeah.
that's basically what I've been doing. Like I've just been, if I'm not with Mertz, I'm like writing, recording my own stuff. I'm just working in silence, and when the people who are ready to listen are there, the music will be there, and I do have some people waiting. They keep asking me, so
Mhm.
I know that that's definitely a good feeling to have, and I'm just ready to surprise people with what's about to come. So just keeping it in the tuck, and when it's ready, it'll be ready.
It allows a lot more wiggle room, so that way once that
Yeah,
releases, there's more beef behind it. There's more substance. There's more everything. You know what I mean?
I
yeah,
like
Full vision.
not having the expectation either. Like if you're one of those people that drops like every month or every week or whatever, then
Every
people
day.
then people are like, oh, when's the next one, when's the next one, when's the next one? But if I'm just like, yo, I'm going ghost for a little bit, and then you'll get it when you get
And
it.
then
Like
boom,
there's
yeah.
no like, I wonder when he's gonna drop. It's just like, oh no, Jay's gone back into the vault, and he's back to working again.
And people start seeing things, and it's like, oh shit, he's got something coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they, yeah. It's just makes everything more. It just makes people more appreciative of what comes about.
That's what
that
I
way.
want. I want people to
Yeah.
appreciate it, not just something that flies by. Because you put something out, and then a week later, it's like, oh,
They're
a new
already
song.
over it. Yeah.
New song, and then it's like, oh, but what about the song that I just put out? No, you just made a new one.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
no, let this song breathe for a little.
And like even if you spend like a year, 2 years, 3 years just creating behind the scenes, like you have that where like you have time to create a film for it. You know what I mean? And just make it bigger than the
Yeah.
music itself.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, dude. I wouldn't say I mean, I definitely did make a film, but one thing that I did for my last 2 albums.
You definitely should. There's it.
I had sort of an idea for that. I'm currently plotting out the next music video that I'm gonna do, which is gonna be filmed in the spring. I have to wait till the weather's a little bit better because it's gonna be some outside stuff. But yeah, I have a wild idea for a video for one of the songs off my next album. And I'm gonna do another thing of production visualizers. I don't know if you guys ever saw those, but like that was something that I feel like like would be really chill if that like caught on. It's
Yeah.
it do you know what I'm referring
No,
to?
no,
Okay, so it basically if you like pulled up, I'll see, I mean I have them on my YouTube. um I'm just gonna see if you type in Dan Bauer if you type in Dan Bauer production visualizers, the
yeah.
playlist that I made for them will pop up. And basically what it is a it's a way to not only listen to the song and see the lyrics.
Mm,
So it's like a lyric video, but at the bottom of the screen, there's also all of the production elements as they're happening in live time, coming
mm,
and going throughout the song. So,
nice.
like, yeah, it took me months to make these. Like,
All right.
it took so long. Um, but, or maybe like a month or something, but it was like every bit of it was manually done. It wasn't, there's no program to write for this. It's like you just have to do it. And it was, but I thought it was worth the effort. Like, it's really, if you guys ever get a chance to check those out, I feel like that could be it's a format that frankly I think I invented. I've never seen anyone do them before, but like if someone else did them, actually I don't know, it'll probably work still pretty well for hip hop. You'd sort of have to modify the idea, but for yeah, I just think it's like there's different ways to make things visually interesting with the music that you release as well.
Right.
Um, so yeah, maybe check those out. And if you draw any inspiration, feel free,
Yeah,
do
for
some.
sure. For sure.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, cool
Well,
stuff.
before we wrap up, is there how can people kind of, well, what are some things that you maybe have coming up that you're going to be working on that you can share? And how can people kind of connect with you? I know you've dropped a couple things, but just to kind of keep bunch it all up into one spot here. But how can people connect with you? How can people kind of learn more about you?
Mhm.
um
Yeah, I mean you can go to danbauermusic.com, which I also built the website on Wix, so it's not that impressive. But uh like so you can go there and you can contact me. I probably am not going to see that. You can just reach out on Instagram. I'm at Dan Bauer Music on everything. So just, find me there. It's Bauer for all you swine that can't spell, but I'm just joking. It's so weird. People have such I got a call today and there was some guy, he was like, hello, is Dan Beaver there? I'm like, no, Dan Beaver. I'm like, no, there isn't. And then he's
there's
like, oh, and then he's like, Dan Boyer. I'm like, nope. And then I just hung up. So I'm like, dude, it's just Bauer.
Dang.
It's not even that
Not
hard. Not even
Dang.
that hard. But yeah, it's at Dan Bauer Music and everything. Is if you want to reach out and chat and such. The thing that I would just say, like, I only want people who are actually attentively listening as fans. Like, I really don't care at all about like the clout and all that stuff. I just want like people who actually care about the stuff that I'm making and are willing to, I don't know, and actually dig it. Like, I have a handful of fans that like I know
Right.
like really dig my stuff, and it always makes me feel good. I'm like, fuck yeah, they're gonna like dig this. So it's
Yeah.
it's cool. So yeah, reach out through that. As far as what I have on the horizon goes, like I say, I am true. It's lame as shit. I never wanted to do this stage, but I sort of have to just to get through this. Uh, I'm working on my career and just working on some of my 9 to 5 type stuff so that I can get a remote job, stay at home, sort of bullshit on the clock and do music, and like eventually just have more of my time to myself to create. So
Word.
yeah, that's what's coming up, and I should have an album dropping this year. I pretty much have it like done and ready, and I was gonna lean into it and start recording it this winter. But I got to figure out some of this like coding stuff right now, and then when I'm done with that, it might be more of like a spring summer-ish release. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, I definitely, and I already know the name of it and all the songs and stuff like that. I'm just not
No.
going to reveal the name yet. But I'll give you a hint. There is one of my song's first singles already available somewhere on the internet, but you'll have to figure that out. So anyway, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate you, Dan, taking the time, especially across the country, to to share, especially a lot of the insight that you've given, the perspective that you've given. Man, this has been super dope for real. So I just want to thank you for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time, and I would say I had the time of my L.Y.F.E on this podcast. So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
anyway, all right, cool. I'll catch you guys later. And for real, we got to chat about the friggin' MOCG thing. I'm definitely down to contribute. So, all right,
Well,
on that, I don't know how to hang up this thing or anything, but
give me 1 second, man. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. One last time, make sure you check out Dan Bauer. Make sure you check out his music. Check out the podcast.
thank you.
But until next time, my name is Jay Faith.
My name is L.Y.F.E. Life.
And we got Dan Bauer, episode 83. Until next time, this is the Right Mind Wednesdays podcast. What's up?
What's up? Shit.